resources are just wonderful for us to be partnering with,
Yes, yes. And thank you, Alice, for that.
but nothing from the town.
Okay,
Alex may have something, or Meredith, I don't know.
I mean,
okay. And all right, Meredith, excuse me, A.M. Denson.
Yeah, and Dottie can join in on this one. I was really thrilled with the story that Bill Evans did for WLOS. And I think I was the last person he interviewed. And he said, I don't know exactly how this story is going to evolve, but boy, he picked the right avenue. And I know Dottie's agreeing with me. We're both very pleased with the story that he did. I have been in contact with Bill, and Dottie only knows part of this. He has sent me the link so that it can be put on the town website, Landcare website. And he also mentioned a request if we are able to embed the link into the town. This is beyond me and my technical skills and knowledge, but if we are able to embed the link so that it can constantly be reviewed or seen, he said there are no copyright issues that we need to deal with. They just want credit that it was done if we're not going directly to the link. So Alex, as the town IT person, I'm going to send you that information and maybe we can figure out how to get that on.
Yeah, we can put that up on the website.
Yeah, and make sure, just so that we can, he said it'll be on the WLOS website in perpetuity. So they don't have a time limit anymore on how long stories last.
Yeah, if you have, I have a WLOS app on my phone, and you can go to the Carolina Moment, and this is all about what the college and of course what the Chestnut Federation. What is it? Chestnut Tree
Foundation.
American Chestnut.
American
Foundation.
Chestnut.
American. Yeah, Dottie, you can be adding to that, and we can skip to you. And since you're the next on the college update, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, I wanted to add that I mentioned earlier, what we're hoping is we're waiting for COVID restrictions, clarification, what's going to be lifted, what's not. So hopefully the tree board can sponsor a chestnut learning event, either late summer or early fall. So I appreciate Alice letting the public know that this is coming up. So watch the websites and information channels for that. And we continue to figure out a good time for that.
Thank you, Dottie.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was that Bill Evans, I mean, this was really a story from his heart.
Yeah.
And he, pulled it all together so beautifully. And then while we were down at the Black Mountain campus, I encouraged him to be as a part of the video. And so he said that was the very first time that he ever stood in front of the camera. And I'm just so thankful because he just has a true heart for those chestnuts. And he is, I don't know, it was a complex story. And I think he did a really good job of putting it together.
And so this is when he stood there and said, I'm 6 feet tall.
That's right.
Yeah.
It would be 15 feet. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
news.
Yeah.
And what a positive publicity for our town of Montreat. And
he was very easy to work with and very interested in the whole issue. He was asking me questions I really wasn't qualified to answer, but somehow,
Me too.
somehow or other we pulled it off.
That's right. The scientists, that reported from the Forest Service, they were really good too.
Yeah. They were great.
Mhm.
Okay, Josh, did you want to add something? I know that you were going to do something next with the stormwater runoff.
I don't think I have an update with the stormwater run. Well, except that we are at the end of data collection now. I just have to identify hundreds of mayflies. which should be fun and exciting. But it doesn't appear, we had 3 sites throughout Montreat, and it doesn't appear that the invertebrate community is significantly different between those 3 sites. So what that basically means is we're using them as kind of a proxy for water quality, and so it doesn't water quality is too different, except that at the lower sites you start to get some of the species that are more comfortable with more degraded water quality. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because we also still have the mayflies and stoneflies. Okay, I have a couple things. Let's see. Yeah, I was in Paraguay for an hour and a half before I got deported.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't, we all, so they required a PCR COVID test for entry into the country. And so there were 10 people in our group. And so my wife and my student and I, we were all gonna, they require it within 72 hours. And all these PCR places were saying, well, it takes 2 to 4 days to get the test back. So I found a place with a rapid PCR test. And so we got a rapid PCR test, and the 3 of us all, were negative and everything. It took 15 minutes. It was great. We got in country, and the printout that or the online thing we had said a rapid test. It didn't say PCR, and they were like, well, this is just an antigen test. We don't allow that for entry. And so they sent us back on the plane.
Oh my gosh.
Back to Panama and back to, so we were in Paraguay for an hour and a half arguing with customs officials.
Well, maybe that's a country that if they don't have any salamanders there, and you don't.
Oh, their biodiversity. So the other 7 in our group got to go and got through, and they saw some pretty amazing stuff. Giant anteaters, all sorts of birds and snakes and all that. So really cool stuff. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens. So I guess I think you said that this had been brought up last time, and I think I saw something about it on the minutes, but I've gotten several emails from people in the town complaining about the new hotel. I don't know why they're, I guess that's probably because I'm listed as the environmental science faculty on the college's website. But we did, I wasn't at the March meeting, so we did hemlock surveys, Laricobius beetle surveys in February with my environmental science classes. I think we did
good.
3 separate days of surveys, found beetles every day. It's hard to tell if what we found was good or bad, because I found that the HWA, or HRI, Hemlock Restoration Initiative, they do a lot of educating and treatment, and they collect the data, but I don't know if they've actually gone back and looked and analyzed the data. So I don't know what it means, the now 4 years of data that we've got, but we've got it. And we're able to help them gather that.
Well, I know your students are having a great time with you.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we were kind of a cool interest thing with biodiversity in the Cove here. I was with my animal diversity and ecology class, and we were able to positively identify some weird spiders that I had been seeing on the Graybeard Trail, and they are what are called purseweb spiders. I don't know the species, but they're one of so purseweb spiders are actually a tarantula that is native to here. They're called an atypical tarantula, so they look like a weird tarantula. And there's one record from Buncombe County, and that's other than that, there's like one other record from 20 years ago in the literature, but other than that, they're pretty much unknown in Western North Carolina, which is kind of neat.
But only in Montreat.
Oh, I haven't looked that many other places. A lot of these rare species, it's just that people haven't looked for really, but that was certainly rarely seen. You go through, they have different spider ID websites, and for North Carolina, there were hundreds of pictures of all the jumping spiders and pretty much every other species, and there was one picture of a purseweb. So
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a good story.
Yeah, so we've got a rare spider. And last, I officially got into Clemson's wildlife fisheries biology PhD program. So I will be starting that in the fall. I'll still be teaching at Montreat, but I might be sending Abby, our lab manager, to come in my stead for these meetings.
Oh, congratulations.
Yay.
Martha, yes,
Congratulations.
Martha's been keeping me abreast on that, and she was reporting that she was one of your letters that was written to support you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to say goodbye because I've got an exam.
Yeah. And
All right.
we're nearing the 5-minute mark. And Patty, did you have something you were waving? You're waving to Dottie.
No, I'm saying bye to Dottie.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you, Dottie. The Trail Club, Montreat Trail Club, Jason is reporting to me, and he was going to send me an email, and I'll forward it if he does have that to you all, so you'll have an update. But they're opening up, they're doing their hiking, and we'll get back to Jason's next month. He said he would for sure be here. He had a conflict. They've been really busy there at the conference center. The wilderness and open space, no report from me. The Earth Ministry team, I don't think Hal is on, but I can get an email from him if he has any updates or dates of any more. But he did send out that wonderful link that we did, and I hope maybe you can still, well, I think it stopped on the 26th, right, Martha?
Let me see if I'm unmuted.
The ground,
you
the
can-
regeneration of land.
Right, you can still now access that documentary on Netflix. And
Oh,
I
okay.
recommend it. It's fascinating how caring differently for the soil in farming and actually also in home gardening will make a big difference in climate change. And so I do recommend that documentary. So access it. The name of it is in your minutes, but access that on Netflix. And take a look at that documentary.
Okay, it's called The Ground Regeneration of Land. It's a help versus hurt. It's presented by that Interfaith Power and Light organization. And that link was open in April. Great,
Right.
thank you, Martha, thank you.
Great.
Well,
Josh, can I ask you a question? How do you spell that spider that you were talking about?
It's a purse web, purse, PURSEWEB.
Okay, thank you.
And it's,
would you also send us a picture of it?
I wasn't able to get a picture. They live in these little burrows that are like shaped by like this on the side of the trail, like where you have like an incline, and they have like a little web on each side, but then they'll like come to the entrance and you'll see like these little tarantula looking legs. They're about this big at the entrance, but if you try to extract them, they go deep. But we did a positive ID at least this last time.
Okay.
Gracie, I have to go.
Okay, we are at the end anyway. It is now 9:58. But I'm looking forward to our next meeting in June. We'll see if it's where it is. And as I adjourn, I think if you read on my agenda, what did the Jedi say to the forest?
May the forest be with you.
May the forest be with you. So long.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for all of your
you.
help.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Grace.
Bye.
See ya.